I read today a news story that Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan have pledged $3 billion of their own money towards the goal of curing, preventing, or managing all disease within the lifetime of their children. It's a very lofty goal. It's a lot of money. $3 billion is going to go a long way towards that goal. But then I read another article uh, that put it into perspective because the National Institute of Health is already spending 10 times that amount on the same goal. In fact, $32 billion is what they are spending to try to eliminate disease. The CDC has about $7 billion in that category. The FDA, $4.7 billion already spent each year on that. Not to mention the other private uh, groups that are already working uh, to eliminate disease, to take care of disease. So I was starting to think about that. I mean, it's a grand headline. It's awesome. They shouldn't be discouraged from doing that. But I mean, people are just going to get sick, right? And people get sick. People get diseases. That just happens in the world. It happens because the world isn't as God wants it to be. The world is broken. The world has fallen, if you will, to use that metaphor. The world is not as God intends it to be. And so people are just going to get sick. And we can we can throw tons of money into tons of research, but bad stuff is just going to happen. It happens. It happens. It's not to say that it's God will that that stuff happens, but it happens. Sometimes bad stuff happens. And I think God's a lot more concerned by what we do in response to bad stuff happening than preventing the bad stuff from happening in the first place. So I've been wrestling with God's will all week long. Like, what is God's will? What does it mean when one person gets sick, but one person recovers and isn't sick? And is that God's will? And boy, what a great question it's been to kind of wrestle with. The cliche that we're thinking about this week is, it is God's will, but we just don't understand it, which we hear all the time. We say it all the time, but what does it really mean when we say that? What does it really mean? What is God's will? And can we ever expect to actually understand it? Anyway, that's what I'm thinking about this week. And you are more than welcome to come to Campbell and let's think about that stuff together.